Peter Ferrara is on the line with us. He is the Director of Entitlement and Budget Policy for the Heartland Institute, a contributor to Forbes, Forbes.com. Peter, welcome back to the program.
Glad to be here.
Correcting Peter Ferrara's Fallacies on Jobs and Taxes is the title. Oh, I'm sorry. The title is Correcting President Obama's Myriad Tax Fallacies that you wrote. People can read that at where?
Forbes.com.
Okay, at Forbes.com. You start out by waxing warm about the wonders of privatized Social Security in Chile that was put into place in 1981. Do you really want America to imitate a policy that was put into place by a murderous dictator for the benefit of his rich buddies?
Well, you notice how I say there that even though that's been enormous benefit for working people in America, we can't even discuss the issue intelligently, and your question is a good example of that.
Okay, well, let me give you specifics then. Chile, when they privatized their Social Security system, there were substantial expenses associated with that privatization. And they paid for those substantial expenses to fund the privatization, just the transition, by drastically cutting public spending, raising taxes. In fact, they introduced a whole brand new tax, a VAT tax, just to help pay for this transition, reducing benefits, selling off government assets, and issuing billions of dollars in debt. That debt won't be paid off until 2050, by the way. They went from 100% participation to 50% of the working people in that country participating. And because the average management fee on these funds in Chile from 81 to today averages around 20%. Some are as low as 14%, some are as high as 30%. The returns that people get on these programs are, pretty poor. I mean, for example, for a new worker enrolling in 1996, the 3.5% gross yield that they got actually amounted to a minus 6.8 return after taking into account management fees. Average rate of return on individual accounts from 82 to 86 was 15.9%, but after you take into account the management fees, the national average was 0.3% for that entire 5-year period. Tell me why giving our Social Security funds to private corporations, to Goldman Sachs so that they can skim 20% off the top and selling off government assets and going into debt like Chile did is a good idea when we have a system that only costs us 3% and has never missed a payment and is not only not in debt but has $2.5 trillion surplus?
Now, one thing you said in that entire monologue is true. The workers had a freedom to choose the new system. Within a few months, 100% chose the new system. They pay half as much into this new system and earn 3 times the benefits of the old system. Half as much as the old system and earn 3 times the benefits because the old system was based on just income redistribution. There was no savings and investment in that system at all. That's like America's Social Security today. The new system is based on actual savings and investments. So over their lifetime,
Peter, I'm reading your real facts here.
Oh, no, those are all false. And this is all explained in my book, America's Ticking Bankruptcy Bomb. We go into this in detail. It's all footnoted. It's all documented. And everything you said is a ridiculous lie. It's an absurd, foolish lie.
Okay, so you're just going to...
It's just lies, Tom. It's just lies. Like you stand there all day.
I got it.
To your introduction monologue, it's full of lies. You lie to your audience for 3 hours a day. You should be ashamed of yourself. But the facts are they pay half the requirements of the old system. They earn 3 times the benefits because the new system is based on real savings and investment. They accumulate those returns over their entire lives. That's why all the unions in Chile support the new system.
And there are no management fees.
Even when they had a socialist government, they did not change the new system.
Then why did they repeal the system in 2008?
The stupid nonsense you support.
Why did Michelle Bachelet, when she became president in 2008,
not change it? Why did she not change it? Why did she not go back to the old system?
She actually began the transition back to a government system in 2008.
No, she didn't, you liar.
Peter,
liar.
Read history.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Peter, calling me names is not going to change the reality of the situation. Anybody can look this up on. They can Google this.
Supports it. You Nimrod. God, I get on the show and you just tell lies all for the whole time.
Well, let's move to a different topic that you can accuse me of being a liar on. You say take the issue of global warming. And you talk about brave scientists soldiering in pursuit of the objective truth over at the Heartland Institute's 860-page Climate Change Reconsidered. You say, but many of our political leaders are engaged in play acting as if these scientists and their work doesn't exist and there's no scientific dispute over the theory. But the fact of the matter is that the Heartland Institute took over $500,000 from ExxonMobil and from the Koch brothers, that their expert is actually a lawyer by the name of James Taylor who's based in Florida. I'm getting this from sourcewatch.org, which is pretty impartial. They trash the left as well as the right. And and that the Heartland Institute's history before they got into the global warming bandwagon was to deny that cigarette smoking was causing cancer.
That's false. But did James Taylor write Climate Change Reconsidered? Was he an author of Climate Change Reconsidered? Would you have a response to the scientific arguments of Climate Change Reconsidered? Let me give you a revelation. Ad hominem attacks are not logical. So you engaged in an
I'm questioning the source.
Do you have a response to the scientific arguments of Climate Change Reconsidered?
What scientific arguments? They're scientific arguments like the scientific arguments that were made that smoking doesn't cause cancer.
They never
or
said
secondhand
that.
smoking doesn't cause cancer.
That's a lie. It's
well, actually, okay, you're right. Let me correct myself. That there is no conclusive evidence that an individual cancer was caused by any particular cigarette or smoking occurrence. That was the position of the people who for several decades.
Why do you not? Why didn't you change the subject? You started talking about global warming, and now you want to talk about
because the same people who were engaged for years and years and years, the same people who are telling us smoking doesn't cause cancer are now the people who are telling us that global warming isn't caused by carbon dioxide.
Because it's an ad hominem attack. You see, do you have a response to the scientific arguments of the 860 pages of Climate Change Reconsidered or not?
I find no science in it.
If you don't have a response, then we should go on to the next topic. You're not.
Okay, well, let's go on to the next topic then.
This one.
That's fine. We'll go on to the next topic. Tax policies. You say even before you were elected, Mr. President, under the tax policies adopted by President Reagan, House Speaker Newt Gingrich, and the much vilified President George Bush, official IRS data for 2007 showed that the top 1% of income earners paid more in federal income taxes than the bottom 95% combined. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, that's what you said. And I'm not going to challenge that. What I'm going to say is that by cutting taxes radically, what Ronald Reagan did, the reason why the 50s and the 60s were and the 70s and even the early 80s were such a prosperous time and we had a strong middle class was because the rich were paying more than 50% in taxes, and so they didn't take their money out. We were incentivizing fairness then. We're incentivizing greed now. What is good about that?
When Reagan came to office, the top 1% paid 17.4% of the income taxes. After Reagan's policies, they paid 40.4% of the income taxes. That's why Jack Kemp always used to say, if you want to soak the rich, cut tax rates. But the lower tax rates, they paid much more in income taxes. They took their money out of tax
But if you look at the top
shelters. They created 20 million new jobs in the first 7 years of the Reagan boom, which God can only pray that we could ever have that again.
I just don't get what I don't get, Peter, is why you're shilling for the top 1%. Why do you care? They can speak for themselves. They can hire people to speak for them.
I'm just answering the argument about whether the rich pay their fair share, and this is a thorough refutation, as are all the other facts.
Well, I think
in the article.
when Warren Buffett's secretary pays higher tax rates than he does, that's not fair.
Well, that would, if that was true, that would not be fair. But the fact is, we cite the data from the Wall Street Journal that people making over $500,000 a year.
Hang on just a second. Hang on.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
Okay, you got 10 seconds, Peter. Finish your sentence.
Those earning over $500,000 a year, the average federal tax rate, this is all federal tax, is 24%. That's almost 3 times.
Okay. Thank you, Peter.